Hey, this is Dave with Taboo Customs. Today we are taking a look at, going to be evaluating and installing this K66-Plus speaker system from KSPEAKER. So this is a UTV type speaker system where it's really just the speakers with the ability to Bluetooth into those or connect, in this case, a USB or auxiliary cables to the speaker and play music that way. Normally nowadays, everybody's using their phone to play music anyway, so a much simpler system to be able to put in instead of adding, a radio and finding locations for speakers and all of that. This takes up much less space. Now, these types of speaker systems are waterproof, dustproof, and very useful in UTVs, golf carts, boats. For us, a lot of times, we have used them in our wheeling rigs. And you see our yellow Cherokee in the background. We actually have one in that Cherokee system that we will be somewhat comparing this system to. So today in this video, we're going to be doing an unboxing. We'll open it up, take a look at what you get with this speaker system. We'll do an install on this 2023 CF Moto here behind me. We'll cover a little bit of tips on the install. We won't cover it in real detail. And then we will do an evaluation and hopefully it lets you see what it sounds like. So let's get started. All right, other than the pictures online, I honestly have not had a chance to open this up, even take a look at it. So let's see what we see here. Well, it's a very colorful quick start guide. Okay, so let's see here. This is essentially all the parts we should be getting with it. Looks like some brackets. These are mainly, you mount them to roll bars. However, I know like in our Jeep, we actually mount it to the roof. In this one here, since it's a utility side-by-side, we don't really have that many bars, so I'm not sure. We might end up mounting this one to the roof as well. Comes pretty nicely packaged. Try not to cut the cord here. Oops. All right, it's pretty good size. I think it's about 27 inches long, if I remember correctly. Got multiple holes for mounting. We've typically, and I don't know, typically there's this rail as well that you can use. It's part of the mounting. Also got some spots on back, maybe for some brackets if you wanted to mount it using some brackets. You get, good Lord, a whole bunch of large zip ties. That's nice. And you're going to get your box of accessories, which can include power cable. Looks like you've got a couple of different size clamps, which is good. Some straps, some tools for installation, spare hardware. Oh, so this is always nice when things come with spare hardware and different things like that. I've got two remotes in here. Don't know if that's an error or you actually are supposed to get two. Maybe they plan on me losing one. Honestly, I'll be honest with you, we never used the remotes. Typically, we've got these mounted in arm's reach, so we just reach up and turn it on. And then you've got the hardware, it looks like, that it will attach to the rail on the top, as you can see. So, all right, so as far as things go, it looks pretty well complete. Now, one of the questions you might have, and I'll tell you what, give me a second. I'm going to measure this. I'll come back and I'll let you know, because that's one of the things that always comes up, especially if you're mounting these in vehicles. How long is the pigtail to actually connect it to the battery? For the power cord, this power cord is roughly just a hair under 10 feet long. You also do have about, I don't know, 1.5 to 2 feet of cord here coming off of the speaker that power cord will connect to. So for UTV, you've definitely got enough power cord. Now for something like a Jeep, you may not have enough. And for the UTV, we're actually going to connect it directly to the battery like the installation instructions show. But a lot of times, like in our Jeep over here, we've got it connected a little bit differently. We've got it connected to a relay, and I've got a switch on the dash that controls it. That way I don't have to worry about it running the battery dead if I don't realize it's on, and we can also have a little bit more control of it and not have to try to reach back there and hit the funky small button. Now this is one I will point out, compared to our other ones, our other system has really small buttons, whereas however this one has pretty large buttons, which is pretty nice. You got a power button, mode button, an equalizer button to change between, you know, whether you want more bass, more treble, yada, yada, yada. Plus and minus, I assume, for the volume, and it looks like a Bluetooth button. So quite a few buttons on it. And they are, compared to our other larger, a little bit easier to hit, because our others are really kind of close together as well. As far as the connections for this, you got the power cable here, obviously, and the power cable is really simple, just a positive and negative. So you don't have to worry about trying to wire it to a lot of other things unless you want that capability. In that case, you're probably gonna have to use some sort of relay and a switch. You have an auxiliary in, you have an auxiliary base output, and then you also have a USB, which are labeled pretty nicely as far as your input and your output. So then for the installation, and probably the biggest challenge for any of these is really trying to find a spot for it. You need to make sure you put it in a spot where you can't hit your head on it, and that's a big one. When we were competing, it used to be we needed at least 3 inches away from our helmet if we could even come close to it with our helmet. And basically we would measure that kind of with our fist. So we'll have to find a spot for it. Hopefully, might be a bit more challenging in our utility side-by-side, but we shall see. Now the good thing about our utility side-by-side versus others is that we don't drive it around real fast. So don't have to really worry about it flopping around or moving too much on us, because we really just use it around town and for plowing and different things. Now for installation, as mentioned, you get a lot of different options. You've got the brackets for the roll bar. You've got some large Velcro pieces that you can use. You also have some safety wires, and all of that basically is covered here in the instructions with multiple, well, if I find it, multiple methods it shows to be able to bolt it, clamp it to the bars, strap it to the bars, and then how to connect. And actually those two brackets I showed with the holes on the back of it are for the safety cables there. So if it did come loose, it wouldn't go too far. But right now, let us get this hooked up, mounted, and we'll be back to check out how it functions. So as we get to the mounting, I did want to show you how these clamps work. What you will have to do is you'll need to figure out where you want to put it. And you've got a couple of options. You got 3 different positions you can put this in. I guess you could move it in a little bit farther, but we'd recommend using both screws. You'll get that to that position, the position you want. You'll put these screws in there to be able to lock that down. You've then got your little pad that you can put on this, and then this piece will actually go around the outside of that. And there's a U-bolt here that goes through both sides of the clamp, and I'll pull it off here and show you through both sides of the clamp, and then you can tighten the nuts on the side to tighten this clamp up. Now we will show you our difficulty we have. We're actually going to probably end up using the Velcro straps because we don't have a bar that is easily accessible. So let's take a look at that. All right, so if you're dealing with a utility side-by-side, you may not have anywhere that's easily to put this. Now you do have a bar, we have a bar back here. However, to mount that, it really won't, it basically ends up out here up against the top. Now the top here is plastic, so we can't really We're not comfortable basically just bolting through to that. So we've got this large structure up here that is all metal, that is pretty substantial. And the speaker does weigh a fair amount, so you do need something somewhat substantial to hold it. So for us, we're just gonna go ahead and Velcro it there. I mean, we probably could maybe drill some holes, bolt through it if we wanted to get real crazy, but right now we're just trying to get this installed so we can show you guys and see how it sounds. We've got it installed, and you can see we ended up actually kind of installing it upside down versus I think what they actually intended, but that's mainly because we did want to use these straps and just strap it up here, and honestly these straps are holding it really well. It's not going to go anywhere. These straps are made to go over the whole speaker, though. Didn't really realize that when we started putting them in there. That's why they're so long. So if you try to use them, you will have to go over the whole speaker or find something different. We did use the clamps down here at the bottom, so that way we make sure it doesn't slide one way or another. As far as running the wiring, we had more than enough wiring. I think we had probably about 2 foot left over. For us, make sure that you're running the wiring away from any exhaust or components that are going to get hot, any moving components anywhere it might be pinched. They do give you a lot of zip ties, which is really nice, and they're actually quality zip ties, not terrible, cheap zip ties that we normally see with a lot of things. Covering a few things about the speaker, and so far we're really happy with it. One thing we noticed, a lot of lights on it, which some people may not care, but I'm going to tell you actually do care. The reason being is that I will tell you that our other one does not have any of these fancy lights on it. It has one light that tells you it's on. This, we can easily see that it's on or it's off. It's very clear. Also, the lights do actually mean something here in a moment, because when we run through these buttons, and we've got a mode button which goes back and forth between USB and all that good stuff, and equalizer button which changes the equalizer so you can add more bass, take it away, Bluetooth button, then you got a plus or minus. Those buttons actually have 2 functions. If you just hit them, you will actually change songs. However, if you hold it down, and we'll show you here, there'll be a light down here that'll go back and forth. That is actually your volume. So you can see, like right now we're all high volume. There you go, it's going down to low volume. You can see it goes back and forth, which is actually really cool. Did not expect it to do that, and didn't notice it at first until I was running back and forth with it. So that is actually pretty nice. Now, I don't know if you noticed whenever we were messing with the wiring before, the USB port actually had a USB stick in it. It actually contains some music, popular music. Unfortunately, I don't think we can play any of that here in this video, so I'm gonna get copyright strike. So we're gonna have to play some generic music for you, sorry. And I apologize if the music doesn't come across great on the video. I'm not sure how it's going to sound, but we will try her out. Now, as far as Bluetooth, I think you can just hit this Bluetooth button, and then on ours it was really simple. The Bluetooth for this on our phone was just called I think K-Speaker P66 or whatever. It's right there. It's really simple to identify that it is this, because I know sometimes it's kind of difficult, so it'll just be a bunch of jumbled letters and numbers, but this one was really easy, saying K-Speaker. So let's play a little bit of music. Most people may be mostly concerned with, okay, how much bass does it have? Because I know with our other speaker, we didn't have, it has like almost 0 bass, which was an issue because as you get it louder, you really, it's kind of hard to listen to, and we have a really loud Jeep, so it's one of the things we don't like about it. So let's go ahead and listen to a song with a lot of All right, now I figure you may want to hear actually a real song. Go ahead.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left.
right, so the final verdict here on this K-Speaker K66-Plus, we actually really like it. I will say that versus our other one that we have in our current Jeep, this one's much better. Several different things that are better about it. The sound is definitely better. The bass is definitely much better. The fact that it does have all the lights, you can see that it is on, is great. You know, that's one thing that, like I said, on ours, we're always we have to look back here and question if it's not playing, is it even on, and try to figure out, okay, is it not working, or if something wrong. Now, one thing that I will say that if I have a criticism of it, that dual function button, while I understand the dual function button is great on there, and we probably will use both functions, it takes some getting used to. I'm used to just momentarily hitting it to have a volume up, so holding it, it might be better if they were switched maybe, and the volume was momentary and the, next song was that, because I probably tend to use the volume, I'd say, more than I do changing the song to the next song. So, but to each his own, and it's really just something that would be getting used to. So we really do enjoy this. If you are interested in one, we would recommend them. As I mentioned before, you can get these on kspeaker.com. It's a K66-Plus, and use the code DB20 to get your $20 off. We thank you for watching. As always, a like or subscribe is greatly appreciated.